Zadia was like, this is a bit much for me. She need to process it. I was like, girl, how many times can he say it? How many times? Okay, he's saying he ain't got the time for you, girl. That's what he's saying. And girl, you didn't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay? How many times can he say it, Zadia? How many different ways can he say it, girl? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows, y'all. It's Friday night, so we gotta talk about Owns, Ready to Love, Make a Move. This is season 1, episode 9. Don't Call It a Comeback was the title. I think that show is definitely about to wind down. Next week, they meeting the friends and the family. I don't know how many episodes we got to go. Or I think we do get a reunion. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all know how many more episodes we got to go though. Also hit that thumbs up button. Also share the video where you like to share your content. Subscribe to the channel, please. This is a growing channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Shout out to y'all. And comment down below. Let me know what y'all think of these ladies and they dating. And we're going to get into that tonight. Also, if you're a Married at First Sight fan, I did upload my Married at First Sight video for this week. This morning, I recorded it last night. I couldn't keep my eyes open long enough to upload it, so that's why y'all got it this morning. So go check that out if you are looking for it, okay? Hit the bell so y'all get the notifications, okay? That's what the people say on YouTube, okay? So do that so y'all don't miss nothing. So anywho, let's get into this review. So, I left my fireplace on. I'm going to try to deal with it. I'm going to try to just deal with it. It's not hot, but I don't want to get hot. But anywho, the episode basically picks up where they left off with Verneesha on the date with the scumbag that is Mizell. She's telling Mizell, you know, it's fine. You know, if you wanted to continue to talk to me after Sharese let you go. However, you know, I'm not here to play no games, so you need to let me know, are you still interested in Sharese or not? So Mizell was like, yes, I am actually. I am interested in Sharese still. He's like, actually, that's who I was hoping was coming on the date today. Mizell, stop playing in our faces, please. So he said, yeah, I'm very much still interested in Sharese, and you know, I didn't, you know, mean to be misleading or anything like that. Matter of fact, you know, if you see her today, you know, can you tell me, you know, tell her I said what's up, putting a good word for me. Verneesha was looking crazy. Verneesha was like, she don't like nobody playing with her like that. Like, he needed to be honest and say what it was. Like, if he was, you know, if he was feeling her or not, he needed to be honest. So he's like, but I still, you know, think you're attractive as well, and all this stuff. So I think that Mizell was interested in Verneesha, but now he backpedaling, okay? And he don't know how to say, like, I was attracted to both of y'all, or I was interested in both of y'all. So Verneesha, after he was like, well, but I'm still liking you as well, or I still, you know, think you're beautiful also. Verneesha was like, well, you know, I already, you know, got somebody I'm pursuing, so that's what's up with that, and I'm going in that direction. So he's like, okay, good. You know, I wish you the best with that. You know, there's a lot of upstanding New Orleans men, and gentlemen is lost. Yeah, you a lost one. So he's like, we good, we clear. And then she was like, yeah, she is. And he talking about the Southern men, and she said she likes Southern men. And she was like over it, basically. And I don't blame Verneesha, because Mizell was just lying. Mizell, you was definitely interested in Verneesha. Now you trying to downplay your interest. And you could tell Verneesha got mad. And her face looked some type of way. Was it just me, or did her face kind of tune up when he said he still was interested in Sharese also? I don't know. I'm wondering if Verneesha got a little caught up in the competition of it all. I'm wondering that. Anywho, if she felt like she had to compete with Sharese, you know. Anywho, then, you know, this week we're focusing on bringing back the old thing. So next we see, I believe next we saw Maurice go on a date with Sharese, right? So Sharese was hoping that in her confessional, she said she was hoping Maurice was the one on the comeback date, and it was Maurice, of course, and they have been in communication, and so she was like, oh, okay, did you miss me? And he said no, but So I thought he said no. I don't remember what he said, but he was like, I've been thinking about you and, you know, all good thoughts. And he said, like, you know, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're business minded, you know, you beautiful on the outside and the inside. I said, he don't know her that well. She's like, oh wow, you describe me so well, oh my God. And so then he said, you know, I feel like me and you know, we could just talk all day on the phone about nothing, but that's the problem according to you. So she said, no, it's not a problem. Just like, basically she wanted more. But Sharese, you give nothing on your dates, girl. You don't be giving nothing. You be silent, okay? We call him Maurice the mute, but Sharese, you just as mute. You don't be giving anything at all. We don't see you asking deep questions. Unless they slicing and dicing that editing, girl, you don't be doing nothing on your dates as well, Sharese. Your conversation gives absolutely nothing. So, I don't know. Maurice said in his confessional that this time around he plans to go deeper. He feels like him and Sharese have gotten a chance to know each other enough now, like where they have those deeper conversations. Both of y'all are shallow as a kiddie pool. Anywho, you know, Sharese is happy that Maurice is back, and she's like, now that you got me, what you gonna do with it? He said they want to have some fun. I'm not mad at Sharese going back to Maurice. Actually, I feel like that is her best bet at this point. I feel like they're a good match for each other. I feel like they both just want to go shopping for Gucci and Louis, Prada, Nada, and travel. And I ain't mad at it. Let them do it. So anywho, then we see Ashlee go on a date with Kirstin. Now this is the part they could have kept to themselves. I didn't need to see Kirstin back on my screen. So Ashlee said that, you know, she got sent chocolates and roses by Kirstin. She feels like it's her prom date. And he had more roses for her as well as a card. So they sat down. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's here. Like, why it takes him so long to do this? And so she read the card, and he's just saying how, you know, wonderful she is. And he's apologizing and all this stuff. And she appreciates it. She's like, oh my God, like, I just can't believe this. Like, I'm just on cloud 9. But, you know, why did it take so long for you to show up? And, you know, why are you going to do all this? And, she was like, you know, you doing all this making up because you knew you had to make up. So, then she's just basically like, you know, she's used to men, you know, they want to do all the good stuff when they in the hot seat, but then when they doing well, they not really doing nothing, basically. And so, he said he did his little sorry apology again, and then she was like, you know, what, you know, what are you doing? Like, what do you really want? And so, he said, you know, he just want to keep having fun. And so he said, if you play your cards right or something like that, if you act right. And I was like, act right? Who act right? Who need to act right, Kirstin, besides you? I was like, act right? Like, who are you talking to? Anyway, and he said he just want to have fun, meaning he don't want nothing serious with you, girl. Anywho, he's like, what do you want? She said she came to this process because she's ready to, you know, have a real serious relationship with somebody. He said, you know, he decided to give love and fake chance, so that's why he's here. And she's like, but why did it take you so long to figure this out? In her confessional, she said she's dealt with men like this before. You know, they think they slick as Blue Magic. I said, the hair grease, girl. I used Blue Magic in a long time. Did y'all ever use Blue Magic hair grease? Let me know in the comments. So anywho, she said, well, this ain't her first rodeo. So he's like, oh, you know, sometimes you don't see what's in front of you. He couldn't even say the whole thing, and then she had to finish it. He said, oh, you're finishing sentences. Bye, Kirstin. Please go back to the hole you came out of, just like Mizell had to go back. Okay. Then last week we see Zadia, last of the comeback dates. We see Zadia go on a date with, what's his name? Richard? I believe his name was Richard. Was it Keith or Richard? I'm gonna go with Richard. So we see Zadia go on a date with Richard. That was the first guy she picked on the very, very first day when all the men had to come out and they had to pick from the crowd. That's who Richard was. Now, Richard is a nice looking man. He's very excited to go on this date with Zadia. Zadia said she didn't follow through the first time going on a date with him. I think because she went on a date with Cameron, right? And stayed out all night long to 6 in the morning. So she said in her confession that she wasn't even interested in this date at all. Okay. And so she don't know who Tamika gonna bring back to even, you know, knock Cam out the park. I'm like, girl, You just gonna keep your eggs in Cam's basket. You determined to do that, aren't you? So anywho, Richard comes. At first I thought, I was like, the first time I watched it, I was like, he doing a little bit much. Like, he a little eager beaver. I like a little bit more laid back. Like, I still want to tell you like me, but a little bit more laid back energy than him. But the second time I watched it, I was like, no, it was a good date. It was refreshing. He was complimenting her. He was really, liking how she looked, and I wasn't mad at it. It was definitely refreshing. So anyway, he's like, oh yeah, your chocolate skin. I was happy to come see you. And so she asked what he does for a living. He's elementary school principal. Shout out to all them principals and teachers in New Orleans, and black male principal and teachers. Like, I love to see that. So I was like, let me go and get this admin credential. So anywho, he was like, you don't remember I told you that? She's like, no, because the first time around, you was over there asking me about my relationships and stuff. He's like, yeah, because I was trying to, be booed up. I was trying to get wiped up. I thought you was going to be, my girl and all this. He said, I was coming today. I couldn't wait to see my girl. I was like, slow down, Richard. So he's like, oh, your chocolate skin, I just can't get over it. Like, you just look so beautiful. Like, oh my gosh. And so then he asked her what she studied in school. She said she studied exercise medicine, but, school didn't really, that's college. Like, she learned more from reading for herself and life experiences, right? So then he said he really appreciates that, admires that about her. Like, it's hard to find a woman that is self-reflecting, willing to learn, pick up a book and read it and all this stuff. So then she talking about, oh, you sounding, you giving your principal talk right now. And then he was like, oh, I'm just trying to be serious. And I didn't like that she said that. Like, I understand the joke, but I'm like, dang, y'all women, Zadia, Sharese, claim y'all want the man to be serious. Y'all want him to be ambitious, all that. And then when they showing you that, Ashlee, too, then y'all clowning it. Like, which one do we want? So, anywho, I didn't have a problem with what he was saying. It wasn't giving principal speech to me. Let me know if y'all got that in the comments. So, anyway, he was saying some other serious stuff, but I guess he kept moving his hands like this. So Zadia was laughing because he was swatting the flies away. And he's like, oh, you laughing at that, huh? That's funny. And so then he was like, this was a good date. And, some days can feel like an interview. And she's like, oh, this is an interview. He's like, no, this is not an interview. This is, opportunity for me to get to know you, spend time with you. And then she's like, oh, no, this is an interview. He's like, how? She was like, because I could be a job. I'm a job. And then he's like, oh, you a job? He's like, well, I'm going to get paid. And then he's like, I'm going to get money from this. And she's like, no, you can get paid in other ways, maybe. He's like, this is a volunteer situation. So, I don't like the fact that she called dating herself a job. And I don't think she was playing around. If you're telling me, I just think, if you're telling me dating you is a job, that ain't something I want to do. Because I already got a job that's 9 to 5. And I get paid to do it. And if I'm not going to get paid to date you, then I don't want that job, okay? So a woman telling a man, oh, dating me is going to be like a whole job for you? No, that is not attractive to a man, and that is not something the man want to hear, in my opinion. If my male viewers, sometimes y'all be in the comments, let me know if what y'all think of that comment, because I particularly did not like that. I'm like, girl, if you telling me it's going to be a hard time with you, we don't want it, okay? I'm sure that's what most men will be thinking. And I just like when people do that, like, oh, I'm so hard to deal with. Oh, it's like a job to be with me. Like, what? Nobody want to work for free. So, anywho, so they laughed about that. All right. I think that was all the comeback dates we saw. So then we also saw the ladies go on dates with their keepers, right? So I'm trying to think. The first keeper date, I think, we'll just go with Sharese. So Sharese went on a date with Nick. I don't know where they went on a date with, but it looked really pretty. And so, or where they went at, I should say. So Sharese is happy to go on a date with Nick because, she has all this chemistry with him because she is physically attracted to him. I do like that deep voice that Nick got. He's a nice looking man. So he was saying, like, I know last time we talked about traveling and all that, but we didn't really, talk about anything deep, deep conversations. And he also said in his confessional he's looking forward to meeting Sharese. He's trying to take his time with the process, but he seems like he really likes Sharese. So he was like, we didn't connect on anything deep. So she's like, ask me anything you want to know. Again, Sharese, you ain't talking about nothing, girl. So he's like, what's your favorite color? Do you like me? Yes or no? Then he's like, no, just kidding. And so then she was like, red flags. So they're joking around. She's like, it's Friday night. Like, what you got going on? Like, where would you take me out in the city? So he said some jazz club or wine bar or somewhere he's never been at some hotel. So he wants to check it out. So that could be a first for them. And so she liked that idea. Then I guess the streetcar, is that what they called? Or the trolley or something passed by. And she was like saying she never rode one. And he said he never has either. So that could be another first thing adventure they could do. No deep conversation once again. Girl, bye. So anywho, we do see Zadia go out on a date with Cam. So Cam coming in today, he tired. Okay, he busy. He didn't have meetings all day. He said all the rigmarole. So anyway, Zadia then proceeds to tell him, like, Tamika got me going on these dates and all that. And so he's like, okay, well, how's that? Like, how's the process going and everything? So she was like, well, I don't know. I don't really like it. I'd rather her, I feel like I'm already where I need to be right now. And so he was like, slow down. He was like, oh, really? Okay. And so then she was like, you said, oh, like, and she was like, well, I feel like it would give us more time for me and you to have dates. And he was like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. And so she was like, did you say no? He was like, no. He's like, the way my life is set up right now, I'm trying to grind, build. Like, there's stuff I need to be doing right now, but I'm here with you right now. And I'm trying to put in the work right now. And then, the way I really want to, like, date and show you romance and all this stuff, like, I can't even do it right now like that the way I want to do it. Because I'm in a grind place, because I know where I want to be, but maybe in a year or two, I'll be, where I want. I could just sit back and really relax, and then I could really do the romance like I want to do it. And so then Zadia was like, I'm kind of confused on what you're saying. And then he's basically regurgitating what he said last week. Like, basically, I don't want you to feel like you're wasting your time. And he was like, well, I feel like, they give you this process for a reason, so you probably need to follow the process or go with the process so you can see, who really gonna have time for you and all that stuff. Cam is basically like, you ain't found it yet. You need to move around and experience the process. So Zadia was like, this is a bit much for me. She need to process it. I was like, girl, how many times can he say it? How many times? Okay, he's saying he ain't got the time for you, girl. That's what he's saying. And girl, you didn't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay? How many times can he say it, Zadia? How many different ways can he say it, girl? Zadia was like, this is a bit much for me. She need to process it. I was like, girl, how many times can he say it? How many times? Okay, he's saying he ain't got the time for you, girl. That's what he's saying. And girl, you didn't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay? How many times can he say it, Zadia? How many different ways can he say it, girl? Anywho, so that was the end of that date, y'all. Then we see Ashlee go on a date with Donald. And so they're talking and everything, and he's talking about he like her brown on brown and her lashes. And she was like, okay, enough with all the small talk. We're going to talk about something real. Like, where do you see the future with me and you? And so he says, he basically sees the future with her. He wants them to grow and connect and, good old Donald speech, right? So then she's like, one of my exes, they come creeping back up this week. They popping back up. He's like, well, did you knock him down? Like, what? And so then she's like, no, but, he really swooped in. So I just want to let you know, you got some competition. He might knock you out your spot. So Donald in the confessional was like, I don't know if actually telling me this to just be honest with me or to evoke some kind of emotion, to get me riled up, but I'm not going to do all that. Like, he told her ultimately, like, I'm going to just continue to worry about you. Like, I can't worry about somebody else. Like, ultimately it's your decision. I'm just going to do my part to show you. But at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like, basically, he ain't about to tussle with Kirstin over her, okay? And I was like, Ashlee, girl, why did you even say that? Like, Donald don't care, okay? And Kirstin ain't a competition. So, anywho, So she was like, I just want us to continue to move forward and have fun together. I want you to loosen up around me. She was like, first thing what you do is stop wearing them damn loafers around me. If you come in them loafers one more time, I'm gonna be a loafer. She's like, you always come in like, you on a business meeting. Like, and then she was teasing him, talking about, oh, hi, I'm Donald, and I'm all about business or something like that. She's like, we on a date, like, you need to loosen up. He's like, this is how I dress. And he's like, okay, noted. I didn't like that, Ashlee. I didn't like that for you, girl. Like, don't be talking about how this man dresses. Now, when you get in there good with him, girl, you can change his dressing. But, you gotta do that. You gotta play a little mind game. You gotta be like, hey, babe, we about to go to brunch. You want to just wear your shorts and tennis shoes or something. That's how you do that, girl. But you get to know him, telling him, oh, you can't wear loafers on the date. Like, dang, y'all don't want the man to dress nice. Like, these men can't win. Dang. I was like, dang, he can't wear the loafers. Now, I don't see what the loafers looking like, so maybe I'm jumping to a conclusion. Y'all let me know. But, I don't think he looked like super business professional. I didn't see a problem with how he dresses, but again, she's right there with him, so I don't know. So she did say she wanted more passion and stuff from him. Anywho, girl. And then we see Verneesha go on a date with Tabari. They went to some date in the French Quarter. He said it was like the oldest restaurant in the French Quarters. And, he said him and Verneesha both like history. So she asked, does he come there a lot? He said no, only on special occasions. He felt that was a special occasion. So he was telling her, like, I can tell you real spiritual. What does that look like for you? She said that, she's Christian, she's spiritual, but it's not something she likes to talk about a lot. Like, she knows her relationship with God. She ain't got to, like, beat anybody over the head about it. And so he said for him, his mom was Catholic, his dad was Christian, I think Baptist, and his grandma, somebody was Pentecostal. And he said that was a culture shock because they were, going on and on to break it down with church. And y'all know how the Pentecostal church do. Don't shade to my Pentecostal people at all. I've been to a Pentecostal church before. It's very theatrical, okay? It was very theatrical. But anywho, so then he was like, do I want to know, do you see a future of me and you? What does that look like? And then she's like, yeah, I can see us working out. You continue to do good. You doing good so far. He was like, yeah, it would really, devastate me if the next 2 days you was like, I'm moving in a different direction. He's already be having a heart attack every week. I don't know. And so she rolled her eyes. I was like, Verneesha, I don't know, girl. I think I want Tabari and Verneesha to work out, but I'm not sure Verneesha really likes Tabari. I feel like she gave more energy to Jabari, in my opinion. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And she acted like she's a little bit hurt about Mizell. Was it just me? Anywho, I believe that's all the keeper dates we saw, right? So then we see the ladies down to the house with Tamika. And they're talking to Tamika about their dates. Tamika wants to get all the tea. So Ashlee talks about Kirstin showing back up and how, like, she doesn't want to keep making a bad decision. So Tamika's like, you got a big decision to make. I've seen a lot of growth from you. Tamika's basically like, girl, don't be a fool again. So Verneesha, Sheree's talking about Maurice coming back, and Tamika's like, did the things that were issued before get corrected? Sharese feels like they did. Verneesha talks about her date with Mizell, and Tamika said she wanted to use it as a teaching moment for Verneesha. And she asked what lesson did she learn about herself. Verneesha learned that she could be calm and have a conversation and not overreact to things. Now, Tamika was looking like that ain't the lesson she wanted Verneesha to learn. And y'all let me know what lesson was Verneesha supposed to learn. Tamika said also she wanted to give Mizell a second chance to clear the air, because maybe, in the moment things could have got misconstrued. I don't know. At the end of the day, to me, Mizell's a liar. I'm thinking the way everything was done was just messed up, but really that's on Mizell, not so much on Verneesha. Because he did make it look like he liked Verneesha, then he tried to downplay it, then he liked it, then he tried to downplay it. So, anywho, hopefully Verneesha got whatever she needed from that moment. I don't know what lesson she was supposed to learn, though. But y'all let me know in the comments, okay? Maybe Verneesha shouldn't have even took him up on an offer and got the number. because I know a lot of people were mad about that. I mean, he was fair game. I think I think Verneesha should have made Mizell, discuss it with Sharese at that moment. Like, hey, did you tell Sharese you're also interested in me? Because I don't want no issues because I got to live in the house with her. I think is what the only thing I wish Verneesha would have done different if I had to think of anything at all. Anywho, that situation's over, so we ain't got to debate it. Then Zadia talks about Cam and how she feels like she had a good day with Richard. However, Cam's date got her feeling upside down because he don't have the time. And then all the ladies chimed in. Ashlee was like, I don't know what you should do because he busy, girl. I got brothers. Verneesha's like, well, why he come to the show if he didn't have the time? Sharese was saying, like, she don't think it's good because he ain't make the time for her. Okay. So then all the ladies want to know what's up with Cam. So then we get down to the mixer, right? Cam comes and he tired again. He didn't work that day. He looked like he had the same shirt on from the day earlier because it looked like everything was filmed in the same day to me. So then, I think him and Zadia was pouring drinks or something. She's like asking like, oh, you busy? You got to work later on? Like, what's up? So then she ends up spilling a drink on herself. She felt like this is a sign of how the night's gonna go. So she had to go in and change her outfit. So Tamika swooped Cameron away because she wanted to holler at him. Right before that, we see Donald come with desserts for Ashlee. He brought her a pumpkin. No, not pumpkin. Oh, Lord. Sweet potato pie and a cheesecake. I said, that show sound good right now, y'all. I've been wanting some cheesecake lately. Real bad. And I got to go to a gala next Saturday, so I'm trying to look snatched in my dress, but I ain't been eating right. I've been working out, but I ain't been eating right, y'all. Anywho, not about me. So Verneesha's talking to Tabari. Tabari's like, oh, your energy seemed different. She's like, well, you ain't called me or text me today. He's like, I sent you a text at 6 p.m. telling you I was coming. She's like, that's the only time you can text? I understand. I was like, ooh. So anyway, back in the kitchen, right? Tamika and Cameron are talking. So Tamika's like, I didn't talk to Zadia. I'm like, man, you need to talk, like, what's up? And so she was like, I feel like there's two things with you. Well, he's like, well, first of all, this process is such a whirlwind. It's going really fast, and I didn't realize what I signed up for. Tamika's like, I'm gonna have to hold you to the fire. Like, first of all, I think you lying. Like, no, you knew what you signed up for. You knew what it was when you walked in, okay? So Tamika ain't letting the men get away with nothing. I'm here for that. So she was like, I think it's one of two things, right? Either you are playing in Zadia's face and wasting her time, and you're being a little deceitful, and you really don't want to go see it going anywhere with her, or you're starting to fall for her and feel love, and you're scared and you don't know what to do with it, and you're self-sabotaging. And so she was basically telling him, like, you don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. So he said he hasn't ever been in a situation where he had to tell somebody, like, to stay for him somewhere or to be here with him or anything like that. So he did get kind of scared. He doesn't know what to do. And so Tamika's like, well, you need to communicate with her. You need to be honest with her. And so he's like, I feel like I've been telling her that. Like, I even came down to the house to tell her that. But Cameron, that's not what you said. Cameron, you said you was too busy and you didn't have the time. You didn't say, I'm too scared, but I want to make this work. That's not what you said. Anywho, run the tape back to Tamika, girl. So Tamika was like, ultimately, like, it depends on, like, can you see yourself? If she's not there tomorrow, how would you feel? So, you need to talk to her. So then, we see Donald go in the house of Ashlee. They sit on that sofa. And Ashlee says she been straddling the fence. She talking about Kirstin. She talking about Donald. She don't know which one to choose. Ultimately, she chooses Donald. Donald said he's glad Ashlee chose her. However, she's, talking about other men coming back and all this stuff, and he don't know why she's bringing it up, and he's just kind of frustrated with it. Donald is tired of Ashlee. Okay, that's what that part was giving to me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, though. Then we see Tabari apologizing to Verneesha, saying, he got busy, he don't want it to be a reflection of how it's going to be with them, especially in the future. He won't want to FaceTime and a call and a text sometime too. And Verneesha says she, they both be busy. She want to look at her phone and see a text from her boo, okay? So he apologized. They talked a little later, and ultimately she decided to keep him around. So then we saw Zadia back with Cam. So Cam went back out there to talk to Zadia and said that he talked to Tamika and he realized he was in his head. He was self-sabotaging. He got anxiety about the situation. And basically, he still wants to be with her, spend time with her. He wants to try to make it work. They don't have to. He's not someone who worries about the past. He seemed a little weird in that moment to me as well. I don't know if he had drank a little bit much or what was going on, but he seemed a little off. But basically, he said he's not worried about the past. He always worries about the future, but that's not good either. He needs to be present in the moment, and they don't have to decide what's going on and who gonna move and what's gonna happen. They could just be together right now and take things slow, which is all fine and good. I'm good with that, but ain't the premise of the show ready to move? So we're still in the process. But if they could continue on past the show, I ain't mad at it. We just want to see a couple work out, okay? So y'all got to slow it down and be long distance after the show. I'm okay with that. Because Zadia ain't moving to New Orleans. Nobody's moving to New Orleans. Okay, now I want to visit New Orleans. I might go to Mardi Gras this coming up year. But the way some of them streets is looking, I don't know about New Orleans. Now, I want to visit, but I don't know if I would live there. No shade to my New Orleans people, though. But I definitely want to see what New Orleans has popping. I want to visit for sure. So then we saw them go in the house and talk it out. And Zadia talks about, Cam has been confusing. She had a good day with Richard. She really don't know what she gonna do. And it basically left off on a cliffhanger with her and Cameron deciding. So finally, we don't get a cliffhanger with Ashlee. And we don't know what Sharese decided to do as well. Tamika lets the ladies know. She told them earlier in the episode that we're winding down and they're going to have to decide like what kind of move they're going to make. And so then for preview for next week, we do see Tamika telling the ladies that they're going to meet the friends and family of their keepers. We see Ashlee going to get into it with somebody on Donald's side. I was like, oh my Lord. And then we also going to see Sharese and Zadia get into it, and Zadia spraying Sharese for, I guess, kissing LJ, and then Sharese spraying Zadia for being out all night with Cameron, saying they slept together. So that looked like that's going to be good, y'all. So we definitely going to be back here Friday night for that show. We'll also be back tomorrow night or Sunday at the latest for Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. Also check out the Married at First Sight video, and I do plan to do a short for the latest episode of Sisters. I just haven't watched the episode yet, y'all. So stay tuned for everything coming up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.